honey, I dash. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Dash, honey, dash, honey, dash, honey, dash, yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it just me.
Menu narration option is set to off.
Years, blood, sweat, tears is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. They will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone. Watch me celebrate. I'm cocky. I do my dance. Jump in the stands. No man, the man. Oh, deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, y'all dash. 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 They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Here we go.
Now, the good thing for you, partner, is you're not as old as I am, okay? So back when the dinosaurs roamed the earth, the right side of an offensive line was almost always your power side. Your bigger, stronger, physical guys. But on this play, they tossed it right and looked like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but that's not the case so much anymore, you're saying, with the bigger guys?
Not necessarily.
You just find the best guys, plug them in on your O-line.
Right. As a general rule now, you're a lot more balanced on your offensive line. They might still lean towards your best pass blocker on the left side,
sure,
but not necessarily all the time.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
From the 24, Jones. He'll get this one complete to Davis, and they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it?
And he's going to go down again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now, there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Touchdown, Packers! A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, here's Mixon. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now Jones. It's complete to Hopkins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Jones on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Falcons send out their punter. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. But he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Tack McKinley in there for a milestone sack. That's number 150 of his great career. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Check 26, check 26.
Out of his end zone, Young. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Andy Isabella, 98 yards. And the Packers have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Point after, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Ready. 18 Gator. Double tight, guys, double tight. Even. 4th down, even. 5.
On 2nd down now. Mixon, even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And they fell behind early, but since then, 2 touchdowns and a 14-7 lead.
Yeah, they found the end zone on their first 2 drives, and even more so after the defense gave up the first lead. With these last 2 drives, obviously they inspired their D because they shut them down the last time out. They hope to continue that string.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second down, Felton. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give, right side. Boykin. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even
and he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. So the punt rolls out of bounds, and they'll have pretty good field position here up near the 40-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
50 seconds to Mike. 50 seconds. Let's go. At the 39-yard line. 57 to Mike. Mike 57. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Hey, check Mike.
Young to throw it. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's third down.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Young from the shotgun. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We call that sack look.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop. Looking to throw. Jones. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Falcons send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that route.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's what, 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Doesn't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. To throw is Young. To throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Young. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs. all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say, I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Watch the pass. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Third and long for Young. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. Here's Young. They'll indeed go for it. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
I'm coming after you. Check 3, check 3.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Touchdown, Falcons! Calvin Ridley with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. DJ Moore, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again. And you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Now the try here for the point after. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
They'll throw this out wide and complete it to Ridley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A draw play for Mixon. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Jones, throwing on 3rd and long.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, you'd have to think this is where you want to start taking some time off the clock.
Oh, definitely, because you got the lead, right? You take a good look up there and you say, okay, what do we need to do here? Well, you're not in full-out protect mode. You want to make sure you run it, throw it safe, take some time off, and eat it up.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that would look like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On 1st down, Felton. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
2nd and 9 at the 37-yard line.
2nd and 9. Young, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? We just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
30 base.
At the 41-yard line.
Off play action. Jones. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score.
Back now at Lambeau. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the fourth. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that...
And the pressure gets to him again. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Young to throw again on 2nd and 10. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Andy Isabella, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
A little tough on the secondary there, in zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. The safety, Adrian Amos, comes crashing in for the sack. The Falcons on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Jones now throwing on 4th down, and he's going to go down again. The Falcons go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Felton. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A 1st down throw for Young. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Back to throw. Jones. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Another try after the first down sack. Young, and he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll try the left side. Felton. He's got room to run past the 20 as he'll take this up to the 22-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones under pressure again, and down he goes again. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Green Bay, the win is number 9 for them on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, it was a win they needed to turn the season around, but instead, they fall to 5-7. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium.